Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. Also, crying happening today everywhere. Namaste, everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Mujiji ki Jai. I see. You all know how to ask questions in the Hangout. Just unmute your mic when you feel it's appropriate. And on the YouTube chat, you can type your question there and we will look at it then. Already we have a question.
I don't have a question.
Okay.
Just want to come.
What's happening?
I don't know. Nothing to say right now. But it's just something got triggered here after Parvati's very sweet tantrum the other day. And I was laughing through it all, and there was so much love. Then I know something got triggered here. I can see the attention and the belief has moved to the mind space.
Yeah.
I really don't know what in particular. A lot of thoughts suddenly started getting belief.
Start with one. Which one?
I don't remember anything.
If you don't remember, then it's not trouble. Because
but it's no trouble here. But that was the thing. As soon as I knew this morning that I can make it to Satsang, then everything started like. It's like sometimes there's just so much power in the being, and then sometimes the power is moved to the thoughts. I don't even know what I'm saying. Sorry.
It's okay. Even if power goes to thought, it still belongs to you. It's your own belief which gives, not your power. It just sort of energizes the thought with some power.
It's the energy that there's so much energy in the being sometimes. Yes. Some energy moves.
Yes.
And then I'm trying to even with so this it's not like anything major, there's no suffering in that sense, but I feel like there's still a striving. Like there's still a striving to be some, I don't know, like I can see that. And
to be what? To be spiritual?
No, not spiritual. To like for instance this concept that we are one.
Yeah.
And something is trying to see that oneness.
Yeah.
Like like we are one. So there are some moments when I see that there's no, it's one continuous seeing. And then something says that is oneness. So I can't put what I'm I can't put it in words properly, but it's like there is still some seeking going on. And the seeker here, I think, has not been very strong because I've not been seeking for ages. But I still see that something is like, now what to do? It's getting frustrated, and it's like, I don't know. I think very nicely Parvati triggered something here, and it just.
It's very good.
And then I can see as soon as I get into the mind space, time seems to exist. Whereas when I was just in the awareness or in the being, there was no time. It's always this moment. There's no other moment. And so now when I'm in the mind space, it's like, oh my God, time exists now. It's like, and the one who suffers is also the mind.
Yeah.
But at that moment, it feels like I am suffering. But it's just the mind that's. And then there's so much irritability, and I told Samik, you know what, this is what is going on. So even if you see my face like this, don't think it's you. Or because there's so much irritation once I'm in that space, and something wants to come out, and I know that I'm always out, so that knowing doesn't help.
So you must be relieved. At least this time it's not me.
He's like, yeah, I've seen your small face, and I'm like, it's not you, it's not your parents, it's nobody, it's just me. Oh Lord, I don't know what I'm saying.
The truth is very clear in what you were saying also. You see, the truth is very clear, and what's happening is that all you're saying is momentarily some belief goes to the thoughts which come up, and then time seems to come, the world seems to become real, and the suffering becomes real. That's all that we say in Satsang.
Yeah, probably is not suffering, but
yeah,
it's something that wants to come out, and there's nothing to come out. It's just the belief has to be gotten out. But something is wanting to see in detail of what is. It's a good
oneness thing we said, and this concept of oneness can be very confusing. Because you know what happens is we expect some oneness as one with the body. I should feel that everything is one. Just see it as one appearance.
I don't want it to be like a knowledge seeing. It's just something. It has to just like an insight. It just it's too. I don't want it to knowledge.
So first start with this understanding. If it becomes insight, then become insight.
Yeah.
So the understanding is what is anything. Does the two ways thing make sense to you? There's awareness.
Okay.
There's awareness, and then there's appearance. Whatever the content of the appearance might be, it's just still an appearance. See? So if you can put all the appearance in one bucket and say one appearance, then we can see that I am always the big A, which is awareness. Everything, including body, actions, words, everything is energetic play of this appearance. If you see like that, then whether insight comes, whether all this appearance is coming from awareness itself or it's separate, it's okay. That can be an insight. But as long as you can see, not like just a concept, but you can see it's another appearance. That's enough oneness to start with.
Sometimes it's seen that even this body is part of. I mean, it's very clearly seen that this body is part of the whole appearance. That it feels like not really like one. Like, I can't explain it, but it's just one continuous.
Yeah. It is not that first the sense I am appears, then the body appears, then the world appears. It is the sense I am appears, and the entire world, including the body, appears. Only okay, now body is here. Then at the same time when body is here, external stimulus, sounds, already there.
So can the world exist when or rather, does the world appear with the I am or after the I am, rather? I mean,
it's like the Big Bang, right? So the I am comes and the world is there. So but it must be, like the root of it must be first this me, because this is my world. It's always my world. So suppose it's just like the Big Bang. So
why do we wake up in the morning?
Why do we wake up?
Yeah, I mean, because that's when the I am comes up, right?
Yeah, so it's the same question of why, if awareness is all there is, then why does this consciousness come from awareness? Right. Why did it create this consciousness? Right. That's what we said. No? There are various 2-3 different explanations for it. My favorite one is entertainment. You can say, if you like, to experience love, to experience joy, or something. Because in deep sleep, not even love matters. Right? And you see that all these things we clamor for so much. And yet in the night, if you're not getting sleep, then you're trying and trying. I want to get sleep. I want to get sleep.
So then sleep is like dying, then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is sleep like dying? Deep sleep?
Yes, of course.
Is there any difference between
it's not just a personal dying. It's the dying of this entire world.
So we die every day, every time we are in deep sleep.
In fact, it's very good you asked this, because somebody, Dr. Vijay on Facebook, he sent this question on Messenger to me, and I always, because there's so much that goes on, I forget to answer it. It's very good that you answer, that you ask this question, which is that, what happens at death? The same as what happens in sleep.
So in death, I could have a dream. Like after I die, I could dream something.
Yes, you as what? As awareness.
Yeah, but there's no body at that time, right? Right.
Do you carry this body into the dream?
No. So
see, now you're
basically
getting you the perspective that you are the supreme one,
right?
Not something in the world.
Right. So then basically death is just changing of this appearance onto some other appearance. Is that, I mean, or so then
Yeah.
this appearance goes and another appearance comes up.
How do we know that we don't die every night?
You don't know.
How do we know this is not the only level of this game that we will be playing? Maybe it's only this game.
No.
We say it's my consciousness. But suppose it's your consciousness only today. And tomorrow somebody else plays the role of Jesh. Who knows any of this?
Do you know, Father?
No, nobody knows. Because all I know is that I am this awareness. And from this awareness, this game starts. Starts with the presence of being.
Something wants to just.
Yeah.
So much like. I'm in the space where I feel like, what is the point of all of this? Like, so I don't want to do this anymore.
Yes,
like,
yes. This one, it's very good. Actually, some of you might think, what's happening? Yeah. It's very good because this is what I always say, but now it's clicking. You always say, yes, it will only happen to that guy. You never say, oh, it will happen here. Okay? So what I say, and let me repeat for everyone, is that seeking, the search for freedom, also starts as a personal journey. Because the person feels that they will get some peace, they will get some joy, they'll get some freedom, something is promised to the person. Now, this promise is also failing. Because nothing is being given to the person here. You see? So the person is bound to throw a tantrum and say, but what's the point then? I'm not getting anything. I wanted all these things and now I'm not getting anything. So this one, you must see, who is this one throwing the tantrum? And this one, you see that you are still the witness of this one. It is not you. It pushes all the buttons convincing you it is you. And this, if you can stay with me during this time, then I tell you that this one can leave or lose its power anyway. Because so far it's been helping you, yes, let's go to Satsang, it's Ananta is nice, UGG is nice, all this is good, it's helping. See, we are so much more peaceful. Now it's saying, but okay, I get it, your awareness now, what do you think? You see, this voice.
It feels like it's come to a point where, like, I come to Satsang because I love you so much. Like, there's, but I think there was a sneaky part behind that saying I have to get somewhere, like get to that point where I see an awareness and, all of that, like I see that there's oneness, I see that, whatever. And some parts of it looks like it has been seen here. And then now it's like, but now, like Parvati was saying, I have to be like vigilant all the time and like it's all day I'm in this, and like sometimes I'm just quiet and then I can't like enjoy like normal people and they just keep cribbing about the world and like there's just my in-laws something, they'll just keep cribbing about the world or somebody else or the maid and here's like there's no interest in it, like there's no interest in that and it's all gone, but then what am I doing? Like that I is now like I don't go meet friends, there's no interest, so they wonder what's happened to me. Then when I see your picture, I see Guruji's picture, there's just tears rolling moments. And I know I'm not this one that's cribbing and what's going on.
And Parvati ji is saying sorry about my tantrum, father and Dadaji. No, actually this is very good that it's come out. Actually it's very good. Because you know what is happening and I don't use these words often. What is really happening and why this love is important is because in some way a person is being killed. When this person is being killed, it feels like it's like something is feeling like it's being waterboarded or something, it's being tortured or something. So this person is being killed, is being, I don't like to use the word kill, so I say dissolved usually, but this is what it's coming up. You see, why are you doing this to me? What's happening to me? I don't have legs to stand down, I don't know what's going on. And very beautifully you said that I'm just here because I love you so much. And if this love was not there, you would not be here, you see. So this love is like the honey which attracts you, and then you come and you get swatted. so that it pulls you in, and the person also feels, yes, so nice and loving and all that. But this one has to go. You see, the strong medicine is for this one to go. If it's going to be only nice, and we're just catering to the person again, then what's the point of satsang? There's so much. Entire world is catering to the person. Oh, you're feeling sad? Oh, take this candy. You're only in satsang you say, I'm feeling very, very down. And I'm saying, very good. Actually, this is an opportunity to look at something.
It's a couple of days ago, like 2 nights ago, I think the night before last, I got a call like 2 or 3 in the morning regarding some work. And I couldn't fall asleep after that for a while because I was feeling trapped. I was feeling like, okay, I have no choice. There's no choice.
Yeah.
And I'm here. So I cannot do anything. Yeah. And this whole kind of fear came up and this annoying stuff came up. And then the thought that came to my mind was just die. Whatever it is that has to die, just die. Right? And I can understand I think it's the same kind of trapped feeling that you get. And it's also seen that trap. I can see that I'm trapped.
Yes. The point is that because the person does not exist, it cannot do anything. Right. See? So that is the frustration which is coming from the mind. But you are in this play, you are this consciousness.
Right.
Which is the one doer, which is creating this.
I don't get that.
Yeah, you will not.
I don't get that.
Yes, because you don't get that means I don't understand that mentally.
Right.
But is there a world without you?
No.
In that itself, if you contemplate, you will see that you are the source of this world. There is never a world without you.
So, am I the consciousness moving this hand?
Yes.
Or is the hand moving without
in this, your dynamic aspect, which is like one of your fingers, not even that close, is the one who is moving. Ultimately you are the witnessing of even that movement.
But the thing is, when I move the hand, there's nothing happening.
Yeah.
So how am I moving the hand? Because there's no doership happening in the movement of the hand.
Yes, because it's not controlled from the body. We have believed always that I must move my hand or I move my hand. The hand is just moving.
So then how is it a movie? If I, consciousness, am controlling it, then how is it a movie?
For consciousness, for awareness, it is the movie. Consciousness is the light of the movie, which is controlling the movie like that. It is not controlling it like it gets into, like some people make this concept, right? Like souls enter every body and that soul is, it's like the sense of I am is felt like this, as if it's in the heart region, or for some it feels like in the head region, but it's not here. It is prior to time and space. It's like the light, which is this light first creates the screen of time and space and then projects the movie.
Because our perception is I am the body and then I am.
Yes.
Like
so when it comes like this, that how am I doing this? I don't see that. This I is still the personal voice. That would be very good for the person. If you could see that the person is doing everything, then its God fantasy would come true.
Exactly.
But first, this person has to get out of the way. Then you see that your own light is projecting all of this. It's like the finger which blocks the sun, as one master says. The fingernail which blocks the sun.
So how am I projecting? I'm asking from a personal point of view. I know that. And it's funny for the last 1 week, my position had become of a person. And then all of a sudden I realized, oh, my position is not a person, it's much higher than a person. So I guess I'm still asking you as a person, how am I projecting it? And how do you see it?
Because you see that the sense of being comes inside you.
Yes, is there right now.
So when being is on, then the world is on.
Right.
When the being is off, then the world is off.
Right.
So then who's projecting it? If it is dependent on this coming on and off inside you, then it must be you. Isn't it?
Right, but you know how like you talk about a movie and the projector,
Yeah.
the screen.
Yeah.
So it's not like so I can see the projector and I can see the screen.
Yeah.
So I know when the projector comes on, you see the image. When the projector goes off, but the screen is still there.
Right.
When the projection, when
That's
the
why I
projector
said
is
that the first thing that comes when being comes on, it creates a screen of time and space.
off.
See, is there time and space when being is not?
No. No. I have one more question, Father. Is that am I aware now? That takes me to this place where I am just aware, right? Then why don't I just keep asking myself that question all day long?
Which am I aware now?
Yeah. Or
Because this one, again, this person wants to make something out of it.
Right.
And if you give in to that, it becomes a practice, and it becomes only lead to irritation. Oh, what am I aware now? Yes, yes, I'm aware now. Shut up. You see, so what is actually happening is that this person, which said, I am your friend, I am your ally, let's go on this spiritual trip together. Now you came to the banks of the Ganga, you took a dip, and you want to say, okay, I'm not your friend anymore. And this imaginary friend is reacting now. Saying, what's the point? I got you here, now see what you're doing to me. And what's the point of all this? Come, we'll have a normal life, and we'll have normal problems like other people. All this is the voice of this one. Come back with me. It's nice over there. Here, there's nothing. What's here? It's saying that. And if it did not have this ally of love, then who would come to Satsang? Yes.
I'm also feeling exactly the same as Radha, except that before you came out, I was like, what the hell am I doing in Bangalore? And why am I calling Ananta father? And what is all this nonsense?
And yet, when I see your face, you're like,
same here. I think it's so
I'm feeling like this whole huge, like this. So there's two people inside me. One is this fake person, and one is the awareness.
okay.
No, the awareness is watching the
Yeah.
person. So I'm calling them two persons. And I'm just, so after that whole Parvati incident, the next day, like I was like totally identified with the person, and I had taken my aunts out shopping, and I was judging them and judging the world and being my normal bitchy self, and I was like, what the hell is this? And in the morning I'm like, left two small kids and come, and why have I come? And there's anger, and then like the memory wants to, the thoughts are wanting to hold on to some past memories which make me really angry and upset, and they make me so like sad that they're almost sweet sad, if you know what I mean. Like they don't want to let
like
that
home.
go. Yeah, like I'm watching it. I'm watching this whole drama happening, but it's funny. It's the I'm not being able to. Like I'm watching it, but I'm not wanting to let it go. I don't know if you know what I mean. It's just there, and I don't know what I'm doing here. That's really frustrating. And I don't know this love and all, but Radha said she came because she loves you so much. I don't know why I've come here, Father. I just landed up. It's not funny, Father.
Always say that to me.
You know what I tell my husband? I'm like, just Jesh and Palak, just so much devotion. Like they just come one day, you have no idea what it's like.
No, I love you and all, Father, but I don't know why I've come. I don't know what I don't know, Father. I'm feeling so like, and yesterday I told Jay that I'm feeling fully into the person, and so he's saying, yay, finally! What is coming? And I was like, what? He was so happy because I was like, I'm not in this awareness anymore. I'm laughing and all now, but I'm feeling like there's some anger which is coming up. I don't know what's, it's an old anger that's coming up.
Must come.
And then while coming in the taxi, I was like, okay, father's burning it and all. Then I was like, I know what father's up to. And he's just smiling and laughing the whole time. You had this huge dialogue with me in the taxi, father. And I was like, just do something.
It's been done.
I don't know how I came also. I think I was having two minds of cancelling my ticket.
You remember once I told you that you at least have some advantage.
Yeah, father, and I used it yesterday. It was really good actually. I used the advantage yesterday and it was really good.
Because when doubts come like this, they will come in this thing and it'll always say, so what's the point? What's the point? And then it say, yeah, but your previous life was so good. At least you were sad and you knew, that I'm sad, I'm suffering. Okay, there were at least some moments. Now you're completely clueless. But if you can stay with this for just a while, that's what I say, isn't it? That when it seems unstable, unsteady, then if you can just stay and you can see that this is just another play of appearances, the same voice, the same guy saying all kinds of nonsense, and it's pushing some old buttons, some ancient stories which have been nourished in the past, it was holding on to them. Now it's taking the opportunity because it feels like, okay, she's coming to Satsang again. See what is the what are the arrows I can throw at her.
So it feels like father, this person is this guy, as you call it, is like picking up memories from the past, which really push my buttons.
Yeah.
Like it's picking up the memories and replaying them in front of me, just to get me. I'm succeeding in some places. I get. I don't know. I think it's succeeding.
No, if you're here, it's not succeeding. If you're here, it cannot succeed. There's this beautiful video of Mujiji, which is on YouTube. You do a search for "the mind can be crazy," and then say Muji, mind can be crazy, Muji, and it's exactly like this. Then it says it knows, the ego knows it's in trouble, so it's calling everyone. It's called this cousin, come. This one is getting away, so let's use everything that we have. It's very good that these kind of energies are getting pulled out, because if you have them somewhere inside and it shows up later, then what's the point? Let it come now. Let it be here.
Because you wonder, like how long will we go into satsang, how long will we go, the whole.
Yes, but this this person, let me repeat again. So it seems like this one has said, let's go to Satsang, so I came. This one said, let's do spirituality, so I came. Now, this one is not finding any benefit because of that. For a while it was saying, okay, bliss is here, it's nice. Something, love is here, it's nice. But then it says, even this goes. I've always said from the beginning that all states which are coming will go. And if you're here just for some state, then you will fall into this trap. So this voice will come and say, yes, even the bliss is gone now. It's so nice initially, it's just coming and going. So what's the point? The point is the discovery that I am not this one. But if you still have some allegiance to this one, then it will get some belief. That's why I say that everything that you hear, you must check on. You must check for yourself and see that it's true. Otherwise, you quickly start believing this thing, Oh, the mind was like this and I became a person again. Show me how. Now you became a person. That I cannot believe, because I cannot believe that can happen here. I cannot believe it can happen there. The person was always a work of fiction. So you can never really become the person. You can only energize these concepts with some belief.
More than the states here, which is before this tantrum thing came up, but I could very clearly see that it doesn't matter. The frustration might come, but it's not happening to me.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
very clear, like it's just coming and it was all welcome, frustration, irritation, and it's just coming and going. And then this thing came, and I think the frustration is more like I could see that awareness really has nothing to do. And this frustration that until now there was something to do when I went to Satsang, like not giving thoughts or seeing. No, this one is like I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Like what like that I has been like.
The last remnants of this doership need to be gone.
It's just take It's not nice being in that space, and I know this I is only saying this, but it's not nice being in that space.
It's not candy.
Really, being in awareness, it doesn't matter what comes and goes. But when you're in that mind space, it really matters what comes and goes.
It doesn't still matter, but it feels like it.
Feels like that.
And if we are still caught up in thoughts and feelings, then it will seem like these things are relevant. So every satsang, actually, I'm giving you this dose which is taking you away from being caught up in thoughts and feelings. You also want to share? She said before satsang started that she's been throwing an inner tantrum. So.
Anytime I do a retreat with Guruji, the first couple days, it's just like all these weird resistances start coming up, and actually it's been like very shanti, being in the satsang. It's just so much peace, but then like something will happen, and the mind will just grab a hold of it. And just weird resistances, and the drama queen inside just makes everything like just. This is just one example, and it's so irrelevant. Actually, it's okay bringing it up, but just like the heat here, sometimes the mind rebel can be like. And actually, over the past few days, it's just been like, it's not that. I'm actually enjoying living here, and it's very like a place and all the things. One little thing like the heat, I'm just. I feel trapped, and I'm always gonna have to live in the city. It's like on and on. That's actually nothing, but it's just kind of these resistances come up. I don't even know what they are, but just every time I do.
Just don't try to fix it. All of you. You also want to say something? You're the only one left.
For me, the story goes like this. The person needs completion. So, after getting away after separating from my Hungarian wife.
You don't have to say Hungarian every time.
Yeah, so do I need a relationship with it completely and stuff like that goes on, and yeah, I need most of the time my solace is in listening to Muji or all this beautiful sharing that happened. Then it's beautiful, but left alone to myself, then personal comes in, and conditioning comes in. Away from that, conditioning comes in, and it's a challenge. It's a fight, and the universe puts in some challenges, more challenges, and somebody wants relationships with me, and then I know I shouldn't, and I should stay with myself. That's the best thing that should happen to me. There's again entanglements. So a lot of nonsense. But my only solace is that I'm with Muji and with you, and with all this beautiful sharing. I feel so nice. Lots of time, no, not at all. And presence and awareness is coming because of satsang, and challenges are being easily met because of awareness. And I can see that my hungers are getting resolved, and it's easier than before. Yeah.
I feel I need to give you some pointer which will help.
Now I can see this one that. So it's the seeker that has been, even though it was not very, it didn't feel very strong, but I think that's the one that's like now really confronted. And I can see this one that thought that it did its job of, me seeing, being in the awareness, of bringing the attention. Now I see that it thought it did it.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
And there was a sense of, oh, I'm going to see Guruji, so now I'm ready because now I can be. And now that one's worried, like, oh my god, now you're going to the person, you're going to go to such, I can see that. Just take it away.
So if I'm going to take all of this away, all of you in the hangout on YouTube here and who watch it later also, if you want me to take it away, there's one thing you must do. It is that you must let go of your grip on all of this, any of this. Just be completely open. Just drop anything. Just be completely open, let everything come and go.
And then you mean to say don't resist it?
Yeah, don't resist. Don't resist it, don't try to fix it. Don't say it should be there, this should not be there. And say I should do this, I should not do this. You see? Let everything which is coming, let it come, let it go. And then in your this openness itself, then you will find that everything is being taken away. And what you felt is coming strongly is actually just going strongly. You just label it. How do you know it's coming? Maybe it's just going. So if you don't make something out of it, you just stay. Just stay open. And you know what is happening? All of you made this prayer, isn't it? That let any arrogance get beaten out of me. You made this prayer. So this feeling that I had got something and now I'm losing it, or I was awareness, now I'm a person, is still arrogance. Who was awareness? Did a person ever become awareness? So this seems to be a common story which I'm hearing, which is that I was awareness and now I'm feeling that I'm losing it. Who was awareness? No person has ever become awareness. So this person will say, yes, we got it. Put the flag on awareness also. Just like it puts the flag on various things throughout the life in the story. It says, I wanted this, I got it, I wanted relationship, I got it, I wanted money. It wants to put these flags. In the same way it said, freedom, see, done, score. And then freedom is freedom from this one who is putting the flag, is putting the tick mark. And this, because your feeling for freedom was authentic, you didn't stop at putting the flag. You still made this prayer that if there's some arrogance in this, let it get beaten out of me. And that's what's happening, because it is still the mind voice which says, I understood now, I am aware. This one still has to get dissolved more and more. It becomes just nothing, next to nothing. So I've given you all the tips, all the pointers possible. And I really, truly believe that just in this don't believe your next thought, I wonder how things survive. It must be that some resistance comes to this simple pointing also. difficult?
Like I find that pointing difficult.
Yes. Or some thought, some particular one. About everything.
Yeah, I feel like if I'm trying not to believe it, I believe it.
Yeah. Okay, let's do together. Both of us. Let's not believe our next thought. Both of us.
Wait for the thought.
Yes. Let's be completely open for the thoughts to come. All of us can do it. Yes. So all thoughts can come. Let's be open. And she said something very interesting, and I want to validate if it's true, like this. So let's say, okay, we say I'm not going to believe my next thought. So first, like she said, be completely open to thoughts to come. Let's wait for thoughts to come. And let them come. Let attention also go. If it has to, just don't give it your belief. And the thought which gets your belief, you expose it. If there's a thought that gets my belief, I will also expose it. Let's see what happens. Also in the hangout, you can unmute your mic. If there's a thought that gets your belief, you can come up and unmute and say what it is. If you're on YouTube, you can type it out. Let's test this.
Ananta,
Yes, my dear.
I noticed one that as often when I go to speak, there's this I can see it. There's like this drop in this filter of mine just goes bleh, like it says something really very destructive about just anything that's coming out here. It's like a little flashing or something like that.
Just before you go to sleep, is it?
No, for example, if I was going to say something on the hangout here, then it would. It's like a little. Well, it's just the mind. It comes in, but it's very vindictive and it's very.
Yes.
So it's almost like a voice that's wanting to pull the rug or ridicule anything that would come out of this mouth.
Yeah.
So I'm just exposing it because it's like this little flash thing that comes in, and I just get disorientated by it sometimes. So I think. Thank you.
This part, because this can play like this. Everything that is appearing, it can sit like one judge and passing judgment. Oh, this is like this one is like this. You yourself are rubbish. It's just sitting there and just this commentator has put himself in the position of the judge. So the exercise, the point that we are doing now is just to see, because Palak said very nicely that, oh, but that's difficult. How do you do this? You say it so simply as if it's easy, but is it so easy? So I said, let's play with it. Let's experiment for some time. And it's a simple experiment. Let's together do like this. Let's be open to all thoughts to come. So whatever this one is saying, let it say. And even if attention is going to it, let it go. The one that gets belief, you share that. Let's share that.
Hello, Father.
Say, my dear.
Hi. I'm not sure. I don't think it gets belief, but I felt to come up today anyway to kind of expose something, because a lot of people come up and it's easy. I think Parvati was saying the other day, it's easy to kind of sit back and be comfortable in that, and so it's good to kind of come forward. And so yeah, it's not something that gets belief, I don't think, but sometimes it's observed that other people's interactions with you, and there's something sort of within, the mind comes up and it'll say something like, oh, they have a special relationship with him, and there's a little bit of like jealousy, very subtle, very mild, and so and I think possibly that's been the reason why I've just thought I don't want to just come up and speak to try and cultivate this special relationship, because it's a fiction, it's false. So I didn't want to kind of go with that. So it felt okay just to be silent. But it's good that I've been able to come and share that, and for that to be seen, because this kind of, what is it that I'm clamoring? You mentioned the word clamoring. What is it that this is clamoring for? It's clamoring for some sort of idea of a special relationship with Ananta, with the guru, and that's nonsense, because there's no distance with the true Satguru within. And so yeah, I think it's been helpful to expose that at least, but it doesn't. I wouldn't say it gets my belief. I'd say it's been seen, it's been observed, and I've not wanted to endorse it by coming up every time that I'm in satsang, just to try and say something or ask a question, to try and cultivate this idea of a special relationship. So thank you.
Very good that you say this. It's very, very good. Because what is happening is that it's saying that these people, they want to have some sort of a special relationship with Ananta. And I'm too special for that, you see. So in this, it is using this, what seems to be some people clamoring for attention or some people clamoring for this thing, to say that, no, but I'm beyond that, you see. I'm not one of those. So it's very good that you are able to spot like this and say that, yes, this is here, which is still sitting and judging people. So I want to just come up and expose this. And as you expose it, you will discover, and you know the truth actually. In your heart, you already know that there is no distance. But it's very good that you expose this button that the mind tries to push and says that these people are trying to get a special relationship. I'm too pure for something like that, or I'm too special to want to create a special relationship with Ananta. So this one can go. So like I say, it's not the desire for special relationship. It is not an aversion to special relationship. It is just neutrality. And from the neutrality, moment to moment, so fresh. Like this, I'm sure even today you would have felt that you're not going to come up and say, but somehow it just happened from a place of neutrality. This neutrality is very good. It's very good. No desire for anything, no aversion to anything. Because all desire, all aversion only comes from these concepts of the mind. And then you are completely free, because you have not decided. You have not decided, I will not speak or I will speak. Just if speaking is happening, you're just watching it and saying, whoa, what word is going to come out next? You don't know. That's so fresh and beautiful. It's very nice. I like very much these kind of conversations. Because like I said that day, and I really maybe brought it on after that, was that I would rather not. I feel I was speaking to Jayani when we had this conversation, and I said I would not speak to you through some filter of niceness or some false humility or something like that. This veneer of something which you feel you have to put on when you're speaking to me. Because first then you dissolve that filter and then get to the real point and then look at that. So it's very good you all coming up now and saying this is what it is. All that nice goody stuff can come later. It's good. Let's get to the root of the problem. Let's get to the meat of it. This is very good. Very good. And like I was telling Parvati that day, that it takes a lot of love to even do like that. Because you're in a group of people. feeling, oh, what will they think about me if I come and share like this? First is this dropping of the self-image, that I want everyone to feel that I am one awakened person. Okay, that is the first self-image which needs to be dropped when we come up to expose with this integrity, which itself is so beautiful. Because many times what is holding us back is this. I'm supposed to be awakened now, but I'm actually feeling this and it seems real to me. But if I come up and expose here, and people will say, "Oh, this one we thought they got it, but she doesn't really have it." So this, it's very good that you drop the self-image and you're able to just come and say this. Then we're really working at the root. Then we're not postponing. Otherwise we just postpone. And the mind very conveniently, like Parvati ji said that they very conveniently will come. But why you have to come and expose in satsang? You can work on this yourself, you see. You yourself. The Guru is right here. So this is very convenient Advaita had become. The Guru is right here. Why you have to come to satsang?
It also says like now you don't,
Yeah.
like, you can just resolve it
Exactly. Yes, yes.
Just know it. Just
I thought about that the other day when I told you about my thing, and I was wondering why did I have to tell him? Because there's something about just telling you that just opens up. You know, it's. I could have just told myself,
right?
But there's something about telling you which is, in a way, is dropping that ego or the comfort zone that we have. I'm still not clear a few things.
Yeah.
Could I honestly? So,
are we doing that experiment or no?
yes.
Yes. You mean right now?
We'll finish that first.
Okay, so we just do that. Okay.
Well, let's finish that.
Yeah.
Because we were just in this simple process of seeing.
So
yeah. Is there a thought which is getting
yes. So the thought was coming that I'm not getting this.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the thought that.
So now don't believe it. Can it go on?
Yes.
I was noticing is that I couldn't see any, like when I do this, because it's with me much of the time, this pointing, but sometimes I ask myself, why isn't it seem to be working right now, or whatever, but it seems what happens is it's not so much a thought that's getting, oh, there's thoughts that get believed in, but it's sometimes what happens is when it happened, it's really great because it happened right now, the attention gets believed.
Yeah. The attention gets?
Believed. Like just, there'll just be some rambling, like some mumbling or something inside. It's nothing. It's just like, it'll be something that's really insignificant and the attention goes to it and then like that voice gets believed, like the attention, that's me.
Yeah.
And then I notice it and come back. So it's like.
So without attention, nothing exists anyway for you. You see that only that exists which has your attention. So you say that where attention is going, that gets belief. Yes, it's always like that. But to control attention is very tricky. So we say, okay, let attention also go. And it's going to the mumbling, and the attention is there. Of course, in the ideal case, attention would also not go, which means the mumbling doesn't exist for you.
Sometimes the attention goes and it doesn't get believed because I can see that that's not me, and the attention can go wherever it wants, and sometimes it gets believed in one talking.
Once you've seen that this belief is causing all this trouble, then you'll find that most thoughts are now coming and going, don't get belief, and I have to wait a while for something really juicy to come. And sink my teeth in it and say, this one, you see, this one I really want. And at that moment, we made some sort of a choice to give our belief to it, just like to say that I am enjoying this play. Because I still want to play with this concept still. Still want to play with this. There's some juice in it for me. Actually, Guruji used to use this juicy example a lot. It's a juicy form. He used to say very often when I met him first time. So, this juiciness is coming from where? From what in the past has been nourished and given meaning. Something from the past, like she said, will come when it was very juicy. Let's gossip about something juicy. It will seem harmless. It's coming. Let's indulge.
Not harmless, Father. Like it's
Yes.
painful, but that
It's
wants
like
to,
a,
you want that pain. The
yes.
mind wants that.
Because that was like a comfort zone. Even that pain was like a comfort zone compared to the not knowing what's going to happen, who am I. See, it all seems so confusing.
Rather than thought here is what is it? Just
Yes.
and another thought that seems like I'm going backwards. It's like, okay, you got to there, now you're going back.
Yes. This one, you see, this one, you catch this one. Catch this one. Let it be here now. And even if you want to speak as that one, to say what is the commentary that it is giving. You got somewhere and now you're going back. It's life.
I'm not feeling political. Actually, I'm very happy all that happened.
Yeah.
It's
It's very good.
It's just
Pure bliss.
It's saying like until that day, everything was moving forward. It's like, you could see that you're not all of it, and it was like a lot of things, and the mind was trying to figure out, like I said last week, it was trying to figure out, and it was just like getting lost, like what's happening to you, kind of weird. Like I would just watch the play, and the mind's trying to figure all of this out, like oh this that. Now it's saying like now you're again in the person space, and you're all confused, and you're like that, your face is like this. This is what it's saying. And it's scared. There's a fear that it's saying that you saw all of that, and now you're still getting out into the person's space. So there is still scope that you see that you're not all of this, but there's still scope that you can pull here.
Is it saying you or is it saying I?
I don't know.
You can put like because what happens
It's saying you. I don't know.
see like that. Play with these things. Don't be scared of any of this.
There is a point when I get that strength, and there's like now it's like every small thought. Once a big thought or whatever gets believed, there's more scope for the other thoughts to come and get. It's like a.
What is happening is that the voice of the ego, the mind, the same guy of these doubts. So when this gets spoken out, it triggers what residue of that is there. Very good, it got triggered. So the same cleansing, the same cleaning up that happened over there must happen here also. You see, everywhere. Because otherwise we're just complacent. Awareness. Something comes and triggers, then okay, there's still more. Like my master says, the examples are always not very elegant, so I will also use an inelegant one, which is that many times when we are sick, we feel like when we vomit, we feel like it's done. It's fine. I'm feeling better. I feel perfectly fine. And then 10 minutes later, then we have to vomit again. So just like this, it happens that a lot of this cleaning up, egoic cleaning up happen. You say, yes, it's all clear. Good, I'm perfectly fine. And then something comes and triggers it, you say, I'm perfectly fine, and you drink, something with a lot of spice or something, and again it gets triggered. It needs to be vomited out again. So then, but it will not be to the same extent. It will not be to the same extent. So it's very good that this trigger can happen like this. And somewhere I was wishing that it would happen like this. That we would drop this veneer of niceness and you just come and say, this is what it is. This is such an authentic conversation. And we're not shying away, we're not fearful, we're not wondering, oh, what's Ananta going to think of me? He'll feel I haven't really got anything. I want him to believe that I have understood. All that rubbish is thrown aside. We come and say this.
It feels like what is the point and what.
Yes, so when it says what is the point, then we should say, okay, what should be the point? What is it that you wanted?
So then there was this the main reason that I came into Satsang or the inquiry started was suffering. And that started off with the giving thoughts in my mind. And so the mind says, it's okay, now you know that if you start suffering, don't believe your thought. Until then you just, all that. It's like the mind is trying to pull you back. Like, it's okay, now you know a way out. So it's saying you, not.
Yeah. Which itself is very beautiful already to start with. Because whenever it says you, it's more distant. Some voice and saying you, we don't know who either is. When we are believing, we don't know who either is.
Father, I'm just this beingness. I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm just this beingness. I just know it. And I don't want anything else.
And who is aware that you are this beingness?
What is this? What is all this?
What is what? It's your own feeling. I am just this beingness, and I am aware of this. Now you speak as that, and you tell me whether that is asking, what is all this?
No.
But
the beingness itself goes out and leaves.
Yes.
Why do you do that?
To have a party.
And what is the point of coming to Satsang? What do you want? I don't know what
To cure the hangover from the party.
Oh Lord.
That's all that's happening. That's why I say somebody also said earlier that why this entertainment? Because it doesn't feel like. For me, it feels like more that I'm all there is. I like to have some fun maybe. That seems more true in this case than to say I'm all there is. I don't experience love. I want some love. That doesn't, I don't know. Maybe it's just temperamental. You're like, yeah, it's okay.
I'm like, I'm also this. Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
What am I getting out of this?
So the mind, that's another thing. The mind always
Where's
wants
the
something.
party? I'm still looking.
Yes.
It's like the smoker who's like addicted to smoking. But I'm destroying my lungs. Why am I smoking? It's just an addiction now. We're addicted to this person idea. But at least we realize that it's some trouble. And we've come to this place where this is just withdrawal symptoms. It's just a withdrawal symptom. No, what are you doing here? Just have a smoke, you'll feel better. Why? It's what you said. I know it's hurting me. It's not nice to believe those old sad thoughts, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
It's an addiction. It's an addiction, and you're in this rehab, and you will throw these tantrums. You can't come to rehab and then be so nice. It's exactly like this. It is that. Because the deepest addiction is the addiction to our mind. More than any other addiction we could have. And when this withdrawal is coming, it is trying all its tricks. Yes, you are awareness now. It's okay. Yes, you have the power now to give up smoking. You just have to come here. No? So let's have a smoke. Anything, it's pulling all the tricks possible to get you to keep the addiction.
So, Father, when you say that
And many have believed that I have now the power to let go. And when they truly believe it, they don't come back to Satsang. They say, I can always come back. Gigi is always there. Many I have seen like this, who very lovingly say, yes, he's true master and he's always available to me. So let me go enjoy myself for some time and come back. They never come. In 10 years, when they not
But
come.
why, Father? Because the person.
Because it got you see, the mind again in this trick.
when you say it's all a dream, who are you talking to? Like when you're telling me it's all a dream, who are you telling me my consciousness?
Yes.
It's all a dream?
Who is there to listen? It is only consciousness.
So the I guess coming to your whole thing was that even the fact that I don't get it is also just a thought.
Yes. because there's nothing to get. This is the funniest thing. In every satsang I say you are that, there's nowhere to go, nothing to get. And still the mind comes and says you still don't get it and you buy it.
I guess you're waiting for some fireworks.
Yeah.
You know? Some kind
That's
of,
why I say, okay, define.
no, like you just think you see Buddha in Nirvana, right?
Yeah. So what will convince you that you are Buddha?
I think it's just this conditioning that Buddha is this blissed out being that is in place, and he's God, right? So I think it's that conditioning of enlightenment, which is what I'm looking for. And although I'm realizing the one that is looking is already free of that.
Yes. So what Buddha was, you are.
Right.
Tell me how you're not.
Only because I believe certain things.
Right? Then the beliefs can be like, when I touch this water, it doesn't turn into wine.
Yeah.
Jesus. So that's why I say that
even happiness would be good. You don't forget the wine. Just being always happy would be a good.
Are you unhappy now?
Just believe. It's a belief. So in a way, it's not even believing. Don't believe the next thought. It's like don't believe anything.
Yes, but if I say anything, then the mind says, oh, anything is too much. What do I do now? It's very simple.
Because everything is a thought.
It's like saying, don't eat that entire pizza.
Right.
So I can say, don't eat that pizza, and it seems big. I say, don't eat the next bite. Then you can't eat the pizza. Can you eat the pizza without eating the next bite?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Yes.
So, you know how you keep saying that people find this path, usually because of suffering or they're looking for freedom or something. So in my case, like I feel like I came to Rishikesh out of curiosity, and I kind of bumped into the path in a sense, and so I didn't find it because of suffering in that sense, and also it's not like every morning. Like sometimes you ask my father that would you have this or would you give up all this for freedom or something like that. So it's not like I wake up every morning saying that I want freedom or I'm searching for freedom and no matter what I'm going to get. I don't have that kind of fire. And yet I'm here. So there are two kind of, the mind plays two games with me sometimes. Sometimes it's like, oh, you're so cool that you come here without suffering. So that's the arrogant one. And sometimes the mind plays this game that it's like an inferiority game that
you're not worthy enough.
No, that I'll never find this or I will never be this. I'm just using the words, but I will never be the awareness or whatever. You know what I mean? Is it because I don't have that fire or because I didn't have that suffering? So how will I ever achieve it? So it's like swinging between two kind of. Just the mind playing some games.
Throw them both away.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Right. It's very simple like this. Yes. No, there are many requests to come up also. You can speak.
See, I have this constant feeling and it's become a habit almost. I start the day, I have to be myself. And music, beautiful music, and gets me there, keeps me there. And then all this, if I'm not there, I'm not, my conditioning is there, my story goes, this, that, and you know, all that. A lot of distractions in my personal life. Lots of distractions. Because I have no, so I feel I have no mooring, you know.
Yeah. I think it's
that kind of feeling is there. So my only, I never got to search, but not that kind of a feeling. I always wanted freedom, even when I had a beautiful wife. I mean, when I was in the midst of family, I always wanted that. And I thought devotion was the only way to be there. And now I see if I don't have that, then I'm the mind, with always going outside, distracted, totally distracted person as a person. But yet, the better part of me is wants that, wants that, wants that. What do I do? How do I fix it?
You will discover that actually, like, this is your natural state. You are saying that my state usually is to be conditioned and to be distracted. And for many of us, because the habit is there, like that's why we call it the addiction. So the addiction is saying that addiction is your natural state. This freedom from the addiction is an unnatural state for you. You need to do lots of work to do it. What I am saying is that once you just leave everything, let it be exactly as it is, then you already see that this is your natural state.
The drag is too powerful.
The drag of the thoughts.
Yeah,
the condition.
Yeah.
That's why we say that they attract your attention very strongly, some of these. But belief is easier to manage.
Belief means alertness.
No.
I feel that when I lose alertness, then this story goes on. It's not like that.
Belief is not alertness. Alertness again has to do with keeping the attention here somewhere, the present, something. Alertness is not that. Belief is just whatever it could be saying, let it keep saying. Doesn't matter to me. So much simpler.
That needs attention. That needs staying away. It's another dimension, isn't it?
It's a little bit.
A shift.
It's a little bit of a shift that happens because we're just used to this habit of picking up every thought which is coming. So it's like this heavy burden that we've been carrying. So initially it seemed like a little bit of effort to keep that down. That's become like a comfort zone for us, the personhood. You say, just drop this personhood, you say, oh, that seemed like a lot of work. Actually, you realize that once you put the heavy bag down, then to pick it up is a lot of work. And I don't say anything in satsang which I've not myself tasted. So I tasted this where I saw that when it was said, keep these thoughts away, it seemed like effort, something to be done. But now I can say truly that it's too tiring if I were to try and believe my thoughts. It's too unnatural. And if it's possible here, it's definitely possible there.
So it's easier not to. It's easier not to go with it, or just let it go.
Yes, of course, much easier.
Much easier.
Much, because coming, going, so many things all the time. If you were to go with everything, it's completely crazy.
But I would rather be with my music. I'd rather be with Muji and all these beautiful sharing that we get from people.
Yeah.
I'd rather be there than with my mind story.
Yes, and as you are with Muji, as you are with devotion, you will find that this sense of I will keep dissolving more and more. This I would rather, you will find great trouble in saying I would rather or rather not. So who is this one? Who would rather?
The I is removed and nothing.
No, that's just another thought. What's here now?
How many years? 30 years. Wish.
Where does the frustration come from? It's just the same I which is frustrated that it cannot get rid of the I. And this I must give up now. The person is trying to get rid of the person is getting frustrated that I can't get rid of the person. The reflection is trying to get rid of the reflection and saying this reflection is not going. What do I do? Okay, there's a queue. Okay, Jayani wants to come first. You can come, my dear.
Just take me home. I just don't want to go.
You are home. Will you believe this when I say you are home, or will you believe your mind saying you are not? Suppose you had this choice. Then, how?
Car.
Hmm?
Why?
Hmm?
He lost two of
Okay, to
his
go take
friends.
some lunch.
Yeah, he lost two of his friends.
Oh,
Papa, can we take that for lunch?
yes. Not too much.
Namaste, Father. Can you hear me?
Yes, my dear, come.
I don't really want to come. Yeah, just the last since Satsang, the silent retreat started yesterday with Guruji, just such a huge, just a huge resistance, and also not wanting to hide anything either. And I know that if you say to me, like right now, nothing's happening, but yet, I don't know. This always happens.
Nobody can convince me that something is happening to you. No matter how good your story is, you will not convince. And because you can't see any conviction happening from here, then you forget your own story. That's what happens. This happened, and then nothing happened. And because I cannot be fooled by your story, you cannot be fooled by your story.
I'm really trying to get it back because it comes back so often. I'm really trying to get it.
We started speaking and she said, I really don't want to come up. I'm saying I should start wearing a helmet in satsang or something.
Just this energy. Like I literally have to pin at the moment the last 2 days, and also this is all. This as I'm saying this, I can also see it's nonsense. Like feeling like I'm having to actually hold myself in a chair. Just it's a physical energy that's been brought into, like just a physical reaction to satsang, and but it's also I don't have to, But also, what came up with when Parvati was sharing, you said belief belongs to consciousness, not the person.
Yeah.
And what?
See, the person also is born from belief, not the other way around.
Yes. And this is what it's like. This is with. I'm such a retard, father.
I think this inner influence is very good. It's very good. I don't mean it like that at all.
Do you know what happens? It's like it's pure grace that removes everything drops, and then it's like there is no one, there's nothing has happened, nothing has ever happened, there's nothing, there's no sense of I, there's no sense of awareness, there's no sense of nothing, there's just nothing. And then somehow the sense of self arises and something is believed in, and then there's this person trying to be awareness, and are you aware now, and not believing thoughts. But while that's happening, it's like all those efforts are seen to be complete nonsense, because it makes no difference, because nothing that this illusory identity can do can get back there, because this one's not even there. So it's almost like the seeking identity. When you say what that thought of trying to get it, which is just a thought, that is what there something buys into that. It's that old seeker, as if there's something to find here, and somehow, and I know what I'm saying to you is just a story again, but somehow I just wanted to bring it because it keeps coming up as well. Somehow it's kind of like you also said to me the other day after that YouTube with Guruji. It's kind of like I wished that it's almost like this pressure to. It's all rubbish, I know, but like somehow this imagined one feels like it has to live up to something, and it's. I just really, it's like, it can't, it just can't. It tries so hard, but it can't. It's like that created a second level kind of illusory identity that has to live up to having had that experience, which which is nothing. I know that doesn't make any sense, but it's all nonsense, but it's a very it's where that it gets in the back door of trying to the shadow trying to grasp the sun and say, look, I'm the sun, and I can't, I just I know it's nonsense, father. But I don't want to. And I also like there can be.
Okay, this eye. Don't touch this eye.
Okay. And you know what happens now? It's like thought will say, okay, now I got it. I just mustn't touch this eye.
This eye. Yeah, this one also.
Okay. It's that.
You know,
That.
it's sometimes it also hides behind saying, I know it's all nonsense. It's hiding behind that also. Don't touch this one
Yes.
also.
Yes. This is exact.
Yeah.
Yes. I know it's all nonsense. So who knows it's all nonsense?
Yeah. Don't touch this one also. Because this eye is only going to get frustrated, and when it gets frustrated, I've seen that only one of two things will happen. One is that this frustrated eye will burn itself to death, almost to death, or it will say, no, no, this is not for me.
It's burning itself to death, Father. Totally. And as much as like there is something that wants to move away, it can't. It is like the love or the pull or the devotion to truth or whatever. It's just I was aware last night in Satsang. It's like all these, the mind was trying everything, all these, but
See, I love it when it can be just direct like this. For some of you, I can just say, don't touch this eye, and I know you can get it.
mm-mm. It's that sneaky eye that comes to try and claim it. Okay, well, this is what it is now. Okay, it's all vast and empty and there's nothing. And it's like, okay, it's nothing. All right, so now we know it's nothing. Now we can be nothing.
Yeah. And says, yes, yes, I know all this, so what's the point still? I don't get it.
Yes.
And if this is all that satsang has to offer, then I'm done with it. I've, passed the course. I'm done. You see?
No, it never says that. It never says it's past the course. It's just a hopeless case. It's just a hopeless case, It knows all that, but still, same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing.
The false humility and the arrogance is all the same.
And then it becomes, and there's another thing I wanted to expose, and this I know, but it's something that there's often a preoccupation with appearance as well. What this appearance is looking like. Is it looking all peaceful and serene, or like there is a vanity here, Father, that I also want to put in the fire of satsang and to expose, because it's a very kind of subtle trick that the mind plays here. It's like, well, and it's all nonsense, but still want to bring it to the fire. It's like, well, if you can look good, at least then it's okay. As long as things externally are looking a certain way, it's kind of like you can, then it's okay. And it's such nonsense, but it's an ego game that.
No, I know this because what happened is, some of you know this story again, which was, so I had this beautiful first time in the hot seat with Gigi, and then in those days we were in Thiru. So after that, I would just go and sit at Ramana Ashram. And one day what happened is I was just sitting there, and then people came and they started bowing down to me. They started bowing. I said, "Oh, what's happening? Is there like a halo? What's happening in the appearance?" Suddenly it just came like, So maybe something shifted even outside. So I felt like asking some people, what do you see? Because I was just sitting there in the big hall and just sitting in the corner, and some people started, bowing down to me. And, hey, what happened? So vanity comes like this and says maybe something special is being seen from outside. It's all, like you said, all nonsense, of course.
It's all nonsense. It's all nonsense. Yeah, it's just like being a pretty girl, looking pretty, looking, and presenting a pretty appearance, and somehow, even though if it's like a mess on the inside, as long as it's okay on the outside, and it's all nonsense, but somehow it's a subtle thing that plays here that I wanted to expose as well, because there's no need to. It's nonsense. There's no need to hide behind anything, and I don't want to, not a single blade of grass. Like it's all nonsense, and even the one saying it's nonsense.
It's good, though. It's good. I feel really that grace is lighting such a strong fire in satsang these days. Just that this person who is realizing there is nothing in it for me here. Allow this one to come and jump into this fire of satsang.
Absolutely, Father. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I'm really missing the YouTube chat today, so before Devika comes, just give me a minute to just run through everything. I read through all the chat on YouTube. I know I'm not able to read it out aloud like this, like every day, because there's a lot of it. But very nice. Thank you so much. Yes, Devika, my dear, you can come.
Thank you, Father. I really don't want to come up. I can barely breathe. There's a big tension in my chest. It's just very, very physical. The thing that I wanted to expose is that there are tendencies that used to appear here in the waking state, and they just don't at all. And they're coming to me at night in my dreams really strongly every night, again and again. And they say two things. The first thing is, you see how much fun you could be having if you didn't bother with this satsang nonsense. And the second thing they say is, this is who you really are. And it's just because they keep coming up again and again, so vivid, and I just want to just to let it all out
So,
in
when
Satsang.
do they come like thoughts when you're really sleepy, or do they come in your dream?
No, in dreams, actually, in very vivid, colourful dreams.
And when the dream character over there also starts to suffer, then I will also come in those dreams. So right now it's found that the waking state, you have surrendered at the feet of the master, so it tries to get you in the dream. And when the dream character also has had enough of this nonsense, then the guru will appear there also.
There's no escape, is there, at all? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
What you truly want. It is all dependent on what you truly want. If you truly want freedom, then there is no escape because that's your truest desire. Just to check that this is my truest desire, then you cannot escape. The trouble only comes when sometimes some of you want 1 foot there and 1 foot here.
And that's the thing. I can feel this pull from these old behaviours. I can feel the I can feel myself being drawn to them. So that's why it's just, and I know that just there's nothing that compares with the joy of knowing the truth of your own self. And that's, I also know the feeling of desperate longing of imagining separation. I know that so clearly, and so, but it's you know it's strong. It's strong, that feeling of being drawn, and so I just, yeah, I knew I wanted to just bring it here and just put it at your feet and just burn it, just
Very good. Very good.
And there's also a small thing that I wanted to expose as well. It's just whenever I'm doing something that's good or kind or loving, there's this little narrating voice saying, "Oh, see how lovely you're being now. Oh, you're being the light. You're being so wonderful." And it's just, it's like it's either trying to take credit for it or trying to create this lovely spiritual ego about anything positive, and that feels like it's not so strong, but that can be burnt too, so you can have that as well.
Very good. Happy to take it, my dear. Very good.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
For all of you as consciousness, as one consciousness, I feel like saying today very much that stop being Arjuna. Stop being the seeker now, enough. Let's have fun as Krishna. Because many of you are coming now, like Arjuna later in the Gita, who says, yes, 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 I get it, and it's all there, but can you show me your true form? Show me, give me an experience. Basically, it is, can you give me an experience? And as my master says, I'm sure Krishna was a little disappointed to hear that question. This is not for Devika, by the way. I'm just speaking generally to all of you, which is that after the truths of no form, you are that from which all forms appear. After it being clearly said and clearly explained by Krishna, after so much of all of that, Arjun still says, can you give me an experience? Show me your Virat Roop or whatever, just another experience. So, like Mujiji says, it must be disappointing for Krishna to hear that kind of question. And yet, in his compassion, he said, okay, experience you want? Yeah. And he shows himself like some huge. How does it matter? Any experience which is coming is going. How does it?
So without your grace, Arjuna can't become Krishna, Father.
But you can then say, okay, this is what Father says. Don't leave what the mind says. Do you really know that you are not that Arjun who was still asking the same question so many centuries ago? I don't mind answering, don't get me wrong. I don't mind answering the same question over and over because I know that conditioning has taken a long, long time, and the cleaning up of this false conditioning can also seem to take a lot of time. It's okay. But as part of the process, I want to keep reminding you that you are Krishna. You are not Arjuna. Stop wearing the hat of this person who wants freedom. So this one will only say, yes, yes, yesterday you got it, today you don't have it, I got it, I lost it, I was awareness, I'm a person. And you know, as even the words are coming from your mouth, you know that it's all nothing. Yes. Yet there's some sense of allegiance to those, because at least it feels comfortable to be the seeker. At least I know I'm a seeker. I'm a seeker. This awareness thing, it seemed like, something exotic. I don't know what to do with this. Nothing will ever convince your mind that you are free. And if you keep waiting for the conviction to come from the mind, then I cannot compete with this mind. Because I tell you, every day you are free, you are that. But if you're giving what I say to the mind and saying, okay, this is what Ananta is saying, maybe because he just loves us too much, that's why. It's not like that. It's because you are this awareness completely unchained by anything that could happen. It can never be that I can love you so much that I would lie to you every day. What kind of love would that be? Oh, he loves us so much, he comes every day to us and he lies to us. How can it be like this? Or the second can be that he is really blind. He cannot see. Either I'm a liar or I cannot see. This is what your mind is saying. He doesn't see all the trouble that you really have in your life. He just says you're free. He doesn't see that you're a person most of the time. I know all of these tricks, they are nothing. This mind is nothing, nothing. It is never able to touch you. It's just a voice. It's only a voice. First, you stop being scared of this voice. Leave your mind like this. And yesterday it was quiet, and today it's so loud. Stop being scared of what it is. It's nothing. You will never convince me that it is doing something to you. And if you drop your allegiance to this mind, it is enough. It is enough. You don't have to believe in any words which are being spoken here also. No belief is required. You will see, it will sound like you are speaking. You see? And it will seem like the voice is coming from inside you. It's exactly what you would have said is being spoken in Satsang. Because if it was only about making your mind feel better, then there are many, many places you can go. There are many wonderful psychotherapists which are there, who are there in this Sangha also that you can go. But this is not about fixing the mind. This is seeing that you are not the mind. Just forget about it. You have this power. And you will see it is nothing. And you will laugh at how it took so much of your belief. So many of you have these things, you have these laughing experiences, or you see others who are laughing. What is that laughter that comes? It's just a mixture of all of this, and you realize that it was all this one big joke. Even this whole freedom trip. Huh? It's like that story, I don't know, one of you posted it, which I read on Facebook. And you posted this very nice story. There's this man who gets put into this prison, and there's a wooden door, and they close the door. And every day some food comes to him or something happens. And then he's getting older, depressed, so on, in this prison. So one day when he's really desperate, okay, I'm paraphrasing, I don't remember exactly how it went. One day he's really desperate and he goes to the door and he bangs his head against the door. And the door opens. It was never closed. He's just so frustrated, he bangs his head against the door opens and he realizes there was no prison, they never closed it. Will that man laugh or cry or do both at the same time? That is exactly the reaction that you see in Satsang. You won't know whether to laugh or cry because it's so much of a joke, you see. You have never been bound. It's only been a mind story. You have never been sad, you have never been happy, you have never been anything at all. You have only witnessed all of this play. So I come through a Google Hangout and I come to you inside your imaginary prison and say, just step out. You don't even need to step out. You are not in a prison. You are already free. And you say, yeah, I know this is only what you say every day now. How does it help me? I don't know what to do. Like the drop is saying, I know, you'll say I'm the ocean, but how does it help me? You see the trick here. You say help the drop, you say help the prisoner. I am saying there is no drop, there is no prisoner, I can't see it. And when I ask you to check, you can't see it. And then you say, but I don't want to check, I've had enough. What do I do? This is the whole divine mystery. See? This is the play. You say, oh, I'm in this prison and you are not helping me. But you're not in a prison. You have no compassion for me. Should my compassion mean that I start believing this imagined story? Or should I just keep reminding you that there is no prison? And it's simple because all I say is just check. Don't take my word for it. Okay, you feel you're a prisoner, don't take my word for it. You just check. And you check and you say, yes, you're right. There is no prisoner. But the prisoner voice is saying, so what do I do then? Just check what you are. That's why Bhagavan has given us just these three words. Who am I? There is no sufferer. Nobody has ever suffered. And trust me, I say this with no arrogance. Because many years I've also been like this, completely like this. I don't get this I am thing, I don't get this. What is in it for me? I've been there, so I'm just laughing along with all of you. So all these examples in Satsang are not exaggerations. It's like you signed up to participate in a play, in a theater. You signed up to participate in this play, and midway through the play, you forgot that you signed up for this play and you started feeling that I'm this character. Now I'm coming and saying, no, you are not this. You know what my mind is saying, that I must make my life better in this play. I say, no, this is not. This is just something you're posing as. It's a live role play. It's like Priya. Okay, Priya goes to her live action role play, and then suppose midway through the live action role play, she forgets that she's Priya and she starts believing she is that priest. What are you going to tell her? You will sound exactly like me, I tell you.
carrying night plan.
Okay. You will sound just like me. Just imagine you having this conversation with Priya, and she's saying, "No, I'm a priest. See, I have these priest clothes. There are all these people there. I have these weapons of the priest. I'm in the Middle Ages." You say, "No, no, Priya, come with me. Just look inside and see. What are you? Are you really this priest?" You will sound just like Satsang. This is one huge live action role play in which every character is convincing you that you are this one. But the designer of the whole play also created some fail-safe mechanism. He said, okay, when they forget, then one of you will play the role of the one who reminds them. It's just a role. Even this is a role being played. Because nothing is really happening to you. Nothing is really happening to you. But there must be one voice which comes and says, remember what you are. See? So if you hear satsang, it's exactly like this. The question is, are you tired of playing? If you're tired of playing, then come. It cannot be that one part of you says, I want to play also and I want to be the truth. Then you play. There are no limitations to this game. You just play, it's okay. But you cannot use spirituality to make the play better. Because that was the person's promise, isn't it? Come, this money doesn't work, relationship doesn't work, healthy body doesn't stay. So then let's they say, the spiritual thing really works. There is nothing in it for you personally here. And anything you will find, initially also it might seem nice, but you'll get irritated by it. You say initially, many of you will come and say, oh, it's so nice here, everybody is so loving. And after 2 weeks, you say, it's so irritating, everybody is always this candy sweet love, love. If you're still looking with person eyes, then it's not going to give you anything. Are you tired of playing person or no? Okay, Radhika had to come. You can come, my dear. We have a few minutes. Come.
Namaste, Father. Can
Okay,
you
my
hear me
dear.
okay?
Let me turn up the volume a little bit. And can you also just speak up a little bit, maybe?
Yes, my house is asleep, so I'm a little quiet.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yes, much better. Much.
Okay. So, there's not much left to say after that.
Yeah.
But since I spoke with you a couple weeks ago, there's been so many storms and burning and collapsing of everything and tantruming.
Yeah.
And I was mad at you because I couldn't remember why we were supposed to drop our next thought. I was so mad about it. I was so mad about it.
It's the season to be mad at me. It's completely okay.
And I hated being mad about it. I couldn't really convince myself I was that mad, but there was still a tantrum. So it's moved. The storms have moved through for now. It's been very beautiful. I'm very grateful for that. So there's something that's here that I've wanted to expose for a long time, many months, but I always talk myself out of it because it feels very minor and kind of silly and just not that important. And it's this thing that happens during inquiry or contemplation, either on my own or even in satsang,
Yes.
in which I get, so sleepy. And either if I'm on my own, fall asleep, or I go to a place that feels very bizarre. It's not quite asleep, but like dreaming starts to happen.
Yeah.
And there used to be a lot of frustration with it, like bad seeker, like I'm not doing it right, I'll never get there, blah, blah, blah. And then there was just like, oh, well, it doesn't matter because nothing matters, sort of this Advaita, but not really, just kind of dismissing it. And now there's not a lot of charge around it. And yet I feel stronger than ever to bring it to you because it feels like there must be something that doesn't want to let go. I mean, like so sleepy it hurts to try to stay awake in satsang. Not with you. It happens with Guruji. But if you do a contemplation, I'm scared to close my eyes. And if I'm in the hangout, it helps a little bit, but it just feels like there must be something that's holding on. And and it fuels the identity. So I don't want to give it too much attention, but it just felt like it had to be said.
It's good. It's good that you say this because you leave it, let it be my problem. Because even here, what happens in satsang is that sometimes every word is heard in satsang. Sometimes, Mujiji satsang, every word is heard in satsang. And sometimes he starts speaking, and I find myself not there at all, not distracted or anything, just in some other state, and the words are just coming like music. There's just this quiet. It's not sleep because being is still there, so I know it's not sleep. Something is just flowing. So all of this is the grace of the Master's word itself. Even if sleep comes, it's okay. If the body needs rest, then sleep can come in satsang. It's okay. Especially in the US, I know the timings are also a little bit sleepy, so.
But it can happen when I'm wide awake, super alert, drink coffee, totally alert, and close my eyes, and 30 seconds into a contemplation, I'm go.
Yeah, it's okay. It's completely okay.
I just don't want something to hold on that I don't know about.
No, this is okay.
Are you being direct with me? I want you to just stop it.
It's completely fine. Sleep can come. I remember that Garima, when she was in satsang the first few times, she would do something I shared with some of you, which was that she would go close to the stage and she would go lie down next to the stage and go to sleep. And then Guruji one day said that, it takes a lot of trust to be asleep in someone's presence. And I heard that for the first time in my life and I found it so true. You cannot just go to sleep if there's no trust. So there is some sense of relaxation that can come, some holding on to this person or the mind which is dropped, and with that relaxation in satsang, it can just go. It's fine. All this is being done by the energy of satsang.
And it happens in the inquiry as well. Like I'm halfway through an inquiry, that's something that's super freaking me out, right? And I do the inquiry, and at least half the time I fall asleep. Middle of the day, sitting up. Just if it's resistance, I just want to expose it. It just I don't know. If you tell me it's okay, we'll leave you.
Yes, you must leave it. You must leave it. Because it is, even if it is resistance, to say that it is resistance in this case is not helpful. Because it puts additional pressure on you to try and stay awake, which tires you even more and you sleep even more. And the inquiry will become instant for you. The inquiry will become instant for you. So if it's freaking me out that I'm sitting in the inquiry saying, who am I? And after 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it is, I fall asleep, then you'll see that you don't need 3 minutes for the inquiry. You don't even need 3 seconds.
When I'm engaged with someone, if I'm in conversation or driving, something that requires alertness, the inquiry is very active. Even in the middle of a conversation, it can be watching and inquiring, looking. It's only when I get quiet.
Yes, but also you don't have to make it effortful like this, that you're conversing like this, and at the same time there's some who am I, or something. Is that the way it is?
It went out there a little bit, Father. What did you say?
I said that we don't have to make it so effortful also, that on one hand we're having a conversation with someone, and in the background we're saying, who am I? Who am I? Is it like that, what you say, or?
No, it's sometimes it might be, it doesn't feel effortful. It just happens. But sometimes it's watching to see if it's a spiritual ego talking or what position I'm coming from. And then even that scene, because then the voices are all just fighting it out sometimes. So all of that is watched. There's just an awareness of all of it.
So in the same way that inquiry just happens, when it is meant to happen, then when it is not meant to happen, then let it also not happen. It's okay. You bring yourself or this imagined self out of the picture.
Okay. I just don't want to delay anything.
Yes.
I can't even take this seriously, right? I mean, I take it seriously, but I can feel like this even feels personal.
Yeah.
I know.
I know you know, I know.
I'm not even that bothered by it, and yet it felt so important. I've delayed before, and I don't want to delay.
Say that I don't want to delay, just don't delay not touching the eye.
Yeah.
So right now you can choose not to touch this eye, and no delay.
Yeah. Yeah, no delay.
See, now it's clear.
What did you say?
I said it's then instant like this.
Yeah.
Then there is no delay. That's the good news about all of this, isn't it? Because the self is always here, it takes no time. Even through, I never know what happens after we have a conversation. So I can never predict. So like you say, sometimes some strong feelings come, some frustration, anger can come, all this, even this is seen. So it doesn't really matter what comes, just if you're able to see that I am this awareness itself, then all this can come. It's okay. It's all part of our play. It's all part of our Leela, what happens externally. But internally, if you're being brought to a point where you see you're only this, seeing no matter what appearance is coming or going, then it doesn't matter. In fact, you guys feel more bad about all of these things. They don't affect me at all. Because you, in your feeling also, you'll say, oh, but I love him so much, then how can I have such angry thoughts about him and all of that? It's okay. I just see the love. I just see the love.
I couldn't even get mad at you. I was just mad at the pointing.
Yes.
I wanted something out of it. It's the same tantrum that everyone's describing.
Yeah.
It came through about 4 days ago, so it just.
Every few months we have tantrum season in Satsang.
Well.
I said every few months we have a tantrum season because something gets built up and then it seems to come together, this energy, which is very good. Or maybe actually what's happening is the rest of the time it's being built up, and then every few months it has to explode like this.
It was good though, because the few days I tried to really be a person again, it was really miserable, awful, so much pain. It was not worth it.
Yes.
Very
It's
instant
never
feedback. So. Thank you.
The person is never worth it. We better close quickly as Amaya reminded us. The satsang there begins in 20 minutes.
Thank you, Father.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much.
I love you so much.
Love you too. Quickly read up the chat again. Suchitra says you're a gentle vegan butcher. Aparna wanted to come up. Something which only takes 2 minutes. You want to share?
Father, not much. I won't take much time, Father.
Yes.
Just wanted to share what I've been going through past couple of days, Father. Whatever everyone has shared here, I've felt that too. Like how Parvati ji also felt. I have gone through that same thing as well. But now it's a little different for me. I don't know what it is, but it's just like something from inside is turned off. There is some neutrality about everything. There are thoughts coming about my dad, thoughts about the custody, thoughts about the sickness, thoughts about future, everything, but everything is seen. There is nothing like a reaction going there. It's all seen. But I don't know, it feels very weird to me. Nothing is like making sense, you know. Being here also makes nothing like, should I be here or it's not like I don't want to be also, but I don't know what kind of is it a state or is it some, I don't know how to explain that in words, Father, but it just feels like nothing, just nothing. I don't know where this is coming from also. I wanted to check with you, Father, what it is. I'm not sure if I'm on the right track, or it's not that I have the belief of person. There is acceptance of everything, and clear understanding also about everything is happening. I don't have to do anything, whatever is happening. But at the same time, this is this complete. I can say in words like a blank, just like a blank thing. I don't know what it is, Father. So I just want to check with you. Thank you, Father. Sorry about that.
No, it's good. So as awareness has no trouble with the blank also. You just stay, you don't touch the eye. This is my message to all of you today. Don't touch the eye, and you will find that all these tantrums of the mind will also get dissolved. It is when this nothingness is coming, this emptiness is coming, the mind is trying to say, oh, but this is little like this, it's like this, it's just nothing. Just don't touch this mind, don't touch this eye. This itself is good. Okay, my dear, let's play the invocations because we don't want to clash with Guruji's satsang time.
Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Para Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Dhyanamalam Gurur Murti, Pujamalam Gurur Padam, Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam, Mokshamulam Gurur Kripa, Mokshamulam Mujiji Kripa, Mokshamulam Anantaji Kripa. Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Kina, Sarve Santu Niramya, Sarve Patrani Pashantu, Magashit Bhakvavet, Asato Satkamya, Tamasoma Jyotir Gamya, Mrichurma Amritam Gamya. Om Purnamida Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Brahma Paramastu. Om Shri Sadguru Bhagavan Ki Jai. Om Shri Sadguru Murti Ki Jai.
Thank you all so very much for being in satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Mujiji ki jai.
Sadhguru Shri Ananta Ji ki jai.
Jai. You want to say Jai? You want to say Jai? No?
Thank you, Claire, for moderating. Thank you so much. We can turn the broadcast off now.